Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton. I just finished watching the series finale to The Acolyte. So after 7 episodes of pure idiocy, constant retcons, and some of the worst writing I've ever seen in the Star Wars universe, how did they decide to end it? With a miserable end to the miserable series. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story is that May manages to escape Soul's clutches thanks to Pip the droid. Why wouldn't he just take the droid away from her? So to prevent this whole thing from happening, and she manages to escape on a mini ship that's on Soul's ship. Just to give her a reason to be able to get to Brendok. You would have thought it would just have an escape pod or something like that, but no, there's a tiny ship on the ship. So, anyways, Osha and Kamir, for some reason, decide to work together in order to get to Brendok, which is where May ends up. And we do get a decent enough fight scene between both Soul and Kamir, and also between Osha and May. It is kind of interesting to see Amanda Stenberg basically fighting herself with martial arts techniques. It's decent enough to the point where it looks like they're two separate people, even though they're played by the same actress. And naturally, Kamir does have a few cool lightsaber tricks too. He can split apart his saber to have one short saber and one long saber. Okay, those were kind of neat. But that's about the nicest thing I have to say about this episode, because after it's revealed that Soul was the one who killed May and Osha's mother, even though he was mostly just acting in self-defense and was really just kind of justified in what he was doing in that specific scenario, Osha kills him. Osha force chokes him, and her lightsaber goes from blue to red. Yeah, I didn't know the kyber crystals could go from blue to red, but nothing else makes sense in this series anyways. So yeah, she's basically Sith at this point. So after May and Osha reunite and head back to their little tree, Kamir offers Osha something. He offers to train Osha in the ways of the Sith, and he offers to remove May's memories so they can't use her to reach them. So the Jedi arrest May. Vernestra gets to tell her that Soul was a good man who made a bad choice. And the series ends with Osha and Kamir looking like they're going to be a new Sith duo. And we get a tiny cameo from Master Yoda, as if the series can't use enough Remember Berries to try and make it seem like the series was good all along. Trust me, it doesn't work. So yeah, this is probably not only the worst Star Wars series that I've ever reviewed, it's one of the worst science fiction shows I've ever seen. Period. It is amazing how little it gets about the Star Wars universe, and what the series happens to mistake for good writing. Amanda Stenberg's acting is surprisingly one of the worst performances I've ever seen from her. And even with Lee Jung-jae trying his best as Master Soul, the writing does him absolutely no favors. But I can say that for the entire cast when it comes down to it. And the series couldn't even manage to have a satisfying payoff after all of these ridiculous plot threads were thrown at it. It really feels like a series that should have been about 4 or 5 episodes that was unnecessarily stretched out to 8 just to make it last as long as possible. And it still tries to force this emotional crap into the last episode to try and make you actually care about these characters, when there's no reason to. The only good thing I'll say about the series as a whole is that the fight scenes are kind of neat. The martial arts and the lightsaber duels are pretty cool for the most part. But when that's the only thing you have going for you in the series, when the characters in the story do absolutely nothing for you, those fight scenes really only make you wish that the series was actually worth watching on an intellectual level. Because honestly, Miss Headland, she never should have made the series. She never should have worked with Star Wars. And I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be the series that's going to kill the entire franchise for a lot of people. Hopefully it never gets a season 2. I'm giving this a 2 out of 10. Hopefully I never have to see a series like this ever again.